Going to give our AV team a couple more minutes to make sure that we're streaming live. We're good. Good morning and welcome to the Tuesday, November 7th Board of County Commissions meeting. This meeting is now in order. We do begin our meetings with an invocation, and today Commissioner Geithner will lead us. Feel free to join us if you would like.
Just now for you? Okay, yeah, they just weren't online yet. Okay, very good. Okay, you're welcome. Bye-bye.
Our dear Heavenly Father, thank you so much for the opportunity to gather here this morning. We thank you for the beautiful day in front of us. We thank you for the privilege of living in the United States of America today on Election Day especially.
Things are going crazy.
We pray that you will guide us and give us wisdom today for the decisions that we have to make, and spread your blessings on all of El Paso County. I say these things in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Thank you. And Commissioner Williams, will you lead us in the pledge, please? Item number 3.
Item number 3 is staff emergency items, and I'm unaware of any staff emergency items today.
Item number 4.
Item number 4 is changes, postponements, and notice of the next meeting. I'm unaware of any changes or postponements to today's agenda, and the next meeting will be Thursday, November 7th at 9 o'clock for land use.
And before we move on to item number 5, can I get a motion to excuse Commissioner Vanderwerf?
So moved.
Second.
That has been moved and seconded. Commissioner Williams?
Aye.
Commissioner Gonzalez?
Aye.
Commissioner Geithner?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. Commissioner Vanderwerf is excused with a vote of 4-0. Item number 5.
Item number 5 is the consent calendar consisting of items 5A through 5N.
Are there any members of the public wishing to speak on any item on the consent calendar today? And any online? Hearing none, any comments, questions, and a motion from up here? Commissioner Geithner.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just wanted to point out a couple of things quickly. I am very excited to see the resolutions on easement agreements for Rex and Meridian Road. That has been a project that has been very, very important to folks in the Falcon area in my district. So I'm really pleased to see that moving along and having that on the consent calendar this morning. Also, I want to point out, as a member of the Regional Building Board, I'm the chair of that board, there is a request for approval of the Regional Building Department budget that is on there, and I just want to report that that is in very good shape. I've spent quite a bit of time and the expertise of Roger and his team at Regional Building. They've put together a really great budget that I am certain is going to serve us well in the next fiscal year. So really would appreciate everyone's support on that.
Any other comments or questions? Okay, I have one I'm going to point out as well. We have a proclamation recognizing Law Enforcement Records Personnel Week, and I believe that the commissioners will be making visits to that office to personally congratulate those dedicated employees at some point this week. So thank you for their service. Is there a motion?
I move to approve items 5A through 5N.
Second.
That has been moved and seconded. Commissioner Williams?
Aye.
Commissioner Gonzalez?
Aye.
Commissioner Geithner?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. That passes 4-0 with Commissioner Vanderwerf excused. Item number 6.
Item number 6 is comments by elected officials and commissioner liaison reports. 6A, Clerk and Recorder 2023, Coordinated Election Update. Steve Schleicher, Clerk and Recorder.
Happy Election Day.
Absolutely, Commissioners. Good morning. Steve Schleicher, Clerk and Recorder, and happy Election Day to you all as well. Blake, can you pull up the presentation, please? So today is a big day. I've been out since about 6 o'clock this morning. visiting many of our judges that are already out there on the ballot boxes. You've seen we got a VSPC downstairs here, a lot of judges stepping up. And commissioners, I want to share with you the amount of work that has gone into this election. Is we have about 250 election judges who have stepped up, serving their civic duty, doing great things, and also the election staff. Things are going extremely well. And today I just want to sit there and share with you some voter reminders. So all ballots must be returned to my office by 7 p.m. this evening, Election Day, to be counted. As I've shared in previous presentations, is postmarked ballots that arrive after the deadline cannot be counted. There are 10 voter service and polling centers open throughout El Paso County, and voters can actually go in there and they can vote in person, or if they have an issue with their ballot, if they misplaced their ballot, or if they have yet to cast their ballot and they've changed their mind in regards to how they want to vote, they can go into a VSPC and get a replacement ballot. So we have a voter service center at Citizen Service Center, in the El Paso County Clerk's main office, where my office is at, and also downstairs on the first floor. Centennial Hall right here downtown, our Fort Carson branch, our Union Town Center DMV branch, so all DMV services at the UTC office are closed today. It's opened mainly for voters. Excuse me, our Southeast branch, which is our Powers DMV branch, UCCS, City of Fountain Utilities, Meridian Ranch Recreation Center, and I applaud those folks. Those individuals reached out to us and said, Steve, we want you guys here at Meridian Ranch. So that was amazing. And also Pikes Peak State College. As I shared, is we basically our VSPCs will be open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. today on Election Day.
Okay, Clerk Schleicher, I caught something you said. So if I have voted and spoiled my ballot, I can come in and get a replacement ballot because I've changed my mind, correct?
That is correct. If your vote has yet to be cast, so if you have sat there, you still have your ballot in hand. And if you have changed your mind, you can spoil that ballot.
But if I have voted and dropped it in the box and then think I've changed my mind, I cannot do that.
You cannot do that.
Okay, thank you.
Absolutely. Great question, Commissioner. So if you visit epcvotes.com, you can sit there and look at all the locations of where our VSPC locations are at. You can sit there and hit that. It will pull a MapQuest on your phone. And here is where we have our 39 secure 24-hour ballot drop boxes throughout the county. As you have noticed, is we have election judges that are out there assisting our voters. We have basically the line is already backing up on Garden of the Gods. A lot of voters are turning out at the Citizen Service Center, and I anticipate that our ballot boxes will be extremely busy come around lunchtime leading up to 7 p.m. And here is basically the voter reminders of where our ballot box locations are at. And throughout El Paso County, there is not a citizen that's within a 15-minute drive of a ballot box. So they can sit there and find out where their nearest ballot box is at, and they can sit there and cast their vote that way. So I want to share with you all tonight on the results release is I am going to be releasing the unofficial results at 7:30, 8:30, and 9:30. Keep in mind, these are unofficial results because we are going to still be tallying ballots, just a number of different things. We have to wait till the UACAVA, and also for voters where we have found issues with their ballot where they can come in and cure. So the unofficial results this evening will be released from my office, 7:30, 8:30, and 9:30. One thing I want to share is as I've been presenting the numbers to you all as commissioners, these numbers are very, very fluid. They change every second as we are sitting there going through the ballot processing phase. But as of 10 a.m. yesterday morning, we are at 22.87%, 108,372 ballots have been cast and received in my office. Basically looking at everything is I am sitting there estimating we received about 23,000 ballots yesterday, and I am predicting another 60,000 ballots being processed and voted on today. So we are going to have an extremely long night, which is awesome, but that will put El Paso County right at 40% voter turnout, and I'm hoping we go above that. And just put it in comparison of what our last coordinated election was, we were at 32%. So this is actually a pretty good turnout for a coordinated election, and I hope everybody gets out and votes. Here is the accepted mail ballot statistics at 10 a.m. that have come in, and again, 11/6, again, that was 10 a.m., does not include that 23,000 that came on in yesterday and is in the middle of processing. Here is accepted mail ballot statistics by party. So as of 10 a.m. yesterday, we're looking at the ballots that have been cast by registered Democrats, Republicans, unaffiliated, and then other. And then lastly, our VSPCs are picking up. We have a lot of folks that are coming in there. They're casting their votes in person. But yesterday by 10 a.m., we had 112 individuals that visited one of our VSPCs. And they were busy this morning, but I was down there talking to our judges at the VSPC or Centennial Hall. And there is no doubt is they are going to be busy from lunchtime all the way up till the ballots close at 7 p.m. So with that being said, is if anybody has any questions, concerns, if they want to register to vote, to visit a VSP center, please go to epcvotes.com, or they can call our office. We have a number of judges that are taking calls right now. They can call 719-575-VOTE, and we will assist them and get them where they need to be. That way they can cast their vote and have their voice be heard. Are there any questions?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just want to say thanks for all the great work you've done so far. I know it's been a lot of work for you and your team. I appreciate all the updates and information there. And I think the public, get out, vote, vote, vote is so important. And this is how your voice is heard. And then the last thing, I think you touched on it. It was one of the slides. A person can get in line at 6:58, and there could be 10 people in front of them, and they're going to be allowed to vote, even if it's past 7 o'clock, as long as they get into that line by 7 p.m. tonight, correct?
Absolutely, Commissioner, and that is a very good point, where the VSPCs and the ballot boxes do not close until that last person that got there at 7 p.m. has the ability to vote or drop off their ballot. And how the ballot boxes work is, if you did not know, is the cutoff is some of our CSPD and El Paso County Sheriff staff is they will pull in right behind the individual that got there at 7 p.m. and that will be a cutoff. So they will just follow those individuals.
Commissioner Williams.
Yes, I just wanted to give a shout out to the individual staffing our voter service location right here. They would love to have about 500 people come and vote with them today. So if anyone would come, we would greatly appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you, Commissioner.
And on that note, I started my morning off with them this morning, casting my vote after walking in for a couple of weeks, greeting them and seeing them working hard with our citizens. And I think anyone who walks into any of the VSPCs can have full confidence in the way that that's run. The election judges are just a delight and clearly know what they're doing, very well trained. Any other questions or comments? Okay. For the citizen in the audience, this is an elected officials report point, but you will certainly have the ability and at the appropriate time to comment. So if you could wait for item number 8, we'll get to it very shortly. Okay. And then I'm sure that Mr. Schleicher would be happy to answer any direct questions that you would have of him, but
Absolutely.
You'll have a time to speak on item number 8. Any other questions for Mr. Schleicher? Okay, excellent. Job well done. Okay, let's begin this morning with Commissioner Williams.
Yes, happy Election Day. Encourage everybody to vote. I am very excited to see the amount of turnout. That is very rewarding to see when our citizens are exercising their right to vote. And in a coordinated election year, that is fantastic as well. So today we have of course, our Board of County Commissioners meeting, and I'm hoping to visit the Sheriff's Office later this afternoon. I have tomorrow the Pikes Peak Area Council of Governments and the Pikes Peak Rural Transportation Authority, as well as a Fox Run Nature Center open house, which I'm very excited about to see some of those, that Fox Run Nature Center getting off on its feet and getting started. On Thursday, we have our land use meeting, and then on Friday and Saturday, I would like to wish our veterans happy Veterans Day. Saturday, I believe, is official Veterans Day, and I have a presentation up with the Northern El Paso County Homeowners Association at the Woodmore Barn, one of my favorite presentations of the year. They are a group of conscious citizens and voting citizens, and I'm going to be joined in that presentation by Megan Harrington and Kevin Maston, who is a veteran himself, so I appreciate him giving his holiday time up to come and present with us. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Gonzalez.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Full week of activities. We have tomorrow be participating in the Latino Community Luncheon, PPRTA tomorrow afternoon. At the Nature Center, the Fox Run Nature Center open house. Again, I'll try to get up there as well. It's all the way up in Monument, though, so way up north, but it's going to be great for one of our, would become our third county nature center. So I'm looking forward to get up there. For the public that wants to hear and learn more about the Fox Run Nature Center and the plans, it'll be up in the Pikes Peak Brewery in Monument beginning at 6 p.m. And then Thursday afternoon, I'll be going to a the Chamber's Military Affairs Council reception. And then I guess the holiday is Friday for Veterans Day, but Saturday attending Veterans Day events. One of my favorite days of the year, getting out to see all the other my fellow veterans and thanking them for all their work, all their sacrifice, and great things they've done for our country and their families as well. Because we know that the hard work that the families have to go through, especially when their veteran members are deployed. So, just want to give a great thank you to all the veterans out there. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Geithner.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I have many of the same things that have been mentioned, PPRTA tomorrow, as well as obviously our land use meeting on Friday. Though the county is officially closed on Friday, I also have CCI land use meeting that is taking place that I will be participating in. I too want to thank all of our veterans and all of our veterans' families as well as a Commissioner Gonzalez mentioned. It is certainly a strain on the entire family, as I certainly know as a military spouse, and so we're just really grateful for that service, and quite frankly, grateful to live in the USA today, and really want to encourage everyone as well, get out and vote. It's so important. I've got my sticker today, my I voted sticker. I was happy to turn in my ballot. Thank you so much to the clerk and recorder for making sure that that is a smooth process. I will say dropped my ballot off at the Meridian Ranch Rec Center, so it's very convenient, and I've heard from many members of the community that has been such a convenient location for them to drop those off. So thank you for making sure that it is accessible for everyone and as easy as possible to vote. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Commissioner. And for my comments, I too would like to thank our veterans and their families, those who are with us today and those who aren't, and certainly looking forward to seeing flags continue to fly all week, really in honor and in remembrance of the service that our veterans and their families do for our nation. In addition to all the things that have been mentioned by my colleagues, we have a lot of crossover on many of those things, so I'll just hit the couple of things that weren't mentioned. I also have El Paso County Housing Authority meeting this week, and congratulations to all the volunteer board members who have been a part of that organization for the last 30 years, as they celebrated 30 years of the El Paso County Housing Authority last week with a wonderful celebration. So great job, Crystal Latier, and currently serving board members on highlighting the great work that has been happening right here in El Paso County for 30 years. And then in addition to that, I will be attending leadership lessons that the Business Journal puts on. And this week, I believe it is with John Arita Reader Claymeyer, Colorado Springs Chamber and EDC CEO. So looking forward to that. Any other elected official comments from here and any online? Okay. Item number 7.
Item number 7 is community service organization reports, and there are none.
Item number 8.
Item number 8 is public comment on items not scheduled on the agenda. This is the public's opportunity to speak on items not scheduled on today's agenda. And Madam Chair, I don't believe we had anyone sign in ahead of time.
Okay. Are there any members of the public wishing to speak on any item that's not on the agenda? Not on the agenda as an action item. You're welcome to come on down. Please introduce yourself and you'll have 3 minutes.
Thank you very much. My name is Janice Taylor, and I had a private conversation with the clerk and recorder pertaining to the number of drop boxes and if the number has been increasing because of the population growth and special requests for locations in the community. I think my private conversation has covered my questions. Thank you very much.
Excellent. Thank you. And Mr. Schleicher, thank you for being accessible and answering those questions for any citizen. We appreciate it.
Well, Madam Chair, she asked some really great questions, which were the number of ballot boxes here in El Paso County. And as I shared, we have a total of 39 throughout El Paso County. And as I shared, that is dictated by Colorado Revised Statute. That is where basically there's a formula based on the number of citizens that reside here in El Paso County. And of course, right now we meet statute in regards to getting special requests. There have been several neighborhoods that have asked specifically for a ballot box. In particular, the Hillside Community Center, which right now we have a ballot box that's within a 5-minute drive from the Hillside Community Center west side. But leading up to our 2024 general election, commissioners, what I am looking at is actually having a temporary ballot box in some of these locations because many of these neighborhoods have senior citizens. And that's what Jan and I were just talking about in regards to having that ability where they can walk to a community center. So we're looking at temporary ballot boxes, but right now here in El Paso County, we actually meet the statute of having 39 permanent 24/7 ballot boxes here in El Paso County.
Thank you very much. And as we heard a few weeks ago, the security around each of those permanent ballot boxes is complex and expensive. So glad we're looking carefully at where and how we can continue to provide that service in a valuable way to our community.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Are there any other members of the public wishing to speak on any item not on today's agenda? Okay, hearing none in the audience, any online? Okay, item number 9.
Item number 9 is the called up consent calendar, and there are no items called up.
Item number 10.
Item number 10 is the first reading of County Ordinance 0701 as amended, an ordinance prohibiting illicit discharges into the county storm sewer system. Kevin Maston, Executive Director, Department of Public Works, and Joshua Palmer, County Engineer, Department of Public Works.
Mr. Palmer.
Good morning, Josh Palmer, County Engineer. So this is the first reading of the revisions to our MS4 ordinance. The key revisions are pretty minor, but the key revisions are updates to Section 4, which further define illicit discharge. Updates to Section 7.3. This is in order for us to comply with House Bill 21271. And it's minor updates to the provisions related to misdemeanor offenses. This is, again, in order for us to be compliant with this House bill. There are updates to sections 10.1 and 10.2, and this is the seizure warrant section. Again, very minor, revisions, but this is to be compliant with Colorado revised statutes. And then, of course, there's some minor grammatical and spelling updates as well. So we'll answer any questions if you have any.
Do we have any questions? Is there a red line version that you have ready to present today or with first reading? Okay.
I believe that there was a red line version included in the
Correct.
in the packet. Yeah,
Okay.
I can present on it if you would.
I think in the interest of public transparency here, let's have you go ahead and walk through that that was included in the agenda packet, please.
Sure.
You can keep it at a high level summary. Of just that section,
Would you like
the
me to pull,
sections you mentioned.
pull it up on the screen?
That would be great.
Okay.
Thank you. And while he's pulling that up, it's my understanding that on a first reading, I think there's just a vote for us to approve, a motion and a vote for us to approve the first reading, correct?
That is correct, Madam Chair.
Thank you.
Blake, would you be able to pull it up off of the submitted documents for the packet? If not, I can. I thought it was placed in the folder. If you want to give me 1 second, I can pull it up.
Is there anyone up here that has any specific questions about the information that was included in the packet?
Josh, could you tell us what an illicit discharge is, other than the normal sewage type stuff? I think that our clerk is trying to print it out up here so you could put it on the display.
So the way that it is defined in Section 4 of our MS4 ordinance is landscape irrigation, lawn watering, diverted stream flows, irrigation return, rising groundwaters, contaminated groundwater, or infiltration. And this is all what's defined in Section 40 of CFR.
Thank you, yep.
It is on the agenda. In the backup.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lori. So there in Section 4, illicit discharge, so you can see the red line version. What we did do is we added notes, pretty much outlined what is not an illicit discharge, because there are some concerns over how we define illicit discharge. Uncontaminated, as I was saying, uncontaminated pumped groundwater, no discharges containing groundwater that comes into contact with construction activities not considered uncontaminated. So those are the revisions to the MS4 ordinance that clarified what illicit discharge is. So those were the updates to illicit discharge. Section 7.3, updates to include, again, in compliance with House Bill 21271, updates to include a civil infraction rather than the definition of a Class 2 petty offense. And this would be for each separate violation. And then sections 10.1 and 10.2, essentially 10.1 clarifies we cannot enter without the owner's permission to address any MS4 violation. And 10.2 outlines some further corrective action, and then just further clarifies as long as it's within a reasonable prescribed period. And then throughout, there are a few spelling and grammatical corrections that we made.
Commissioner Geithner.
Thank you. Just really appreciate you going over that for transparency. I think that was a good choice for the benefit of the public, but this is the first reading. So do we have scheduled a second reading? And can we, just for the purpose of being transparent with the public, explain the process moving forward on this as well?
We do have a second reading scheduled. I believe it's for, I think it's December 5th.
I can help with that. Jackie Allred, clerk to the board. The second reading is scheduled for December 5th, correct?
I got one thing right today. Thank you.
So between now and then, any feedback from the commission or others has the ability to be incorporated?
That's correct. And at that second reading, the commissioners will take a vote whether to approve or deny the amendments.
Great, thank you. Any further questions? Again, thank you for taking the time. Sorry that was a little bit difficult with the AV, but again, the right thing to be transparent on a first reading. Okay, so we can just proceed having accepted this as a first reading, or we can take a vote today to accept it as a first reading, and that's what it is. So if anyone would like to make a motion, they're welcome to, but it needs to be to accept the first reading.
I move to accept the first reading and set the final date of approval as December 5th, 2023.
Second?
That has been moved and seconded. Commissioner Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Gonzalez.
Aye.
Commissioner Geithner.
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. That passes 4-0 with Commissioner Vanderwerf excused. Thank you very much. Item number 11.
Item number 11 is department and committee reports, non-action items, and there are none.
Item 12.
Item number 12 is the addendum, and there are no addendums today.
Item 13.
Item number 13 is executive session, and there is no request for executive session.
This meeting is adjourned.